Sure you can talk over there.
Oh, good job, brother. I thought I heard you shoot. Oh.
All right, guys, welcome back to another one. Hopefully you enjoyed that little elk highlighting reel. If you're new here, welcome to Born and Raised Outdoors. We're here to entertain, educate, and inspire you. My name's Kody Kellum, and today what I'm stoked to talk about is gear. And we're gonna kind of go through what it takes to either day hunt from the truck, camp with a big base camp, or backpack in for elk. So if you're here and you've been here before, thank you so much for tuning in again. And like I said, if you're new, every Monday at 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time we drop a new video, and it's all about big game here. We elk hunt with a bow, we deer hunt, we antelope hunt, we kind of bear hunt, we do it all, and we just love sharing those adventures and hopefully teach you guys what we've learned and what mistakes we've made along the way. All right, guys, first things first, we're going to show you day hunting elk and just, you know, kind of the basics, go through the pack and what that looks like. Like I said, archery season's coming up, and this is kind of the day-to-day function. We load the packs whether we're hunting Oregon for Roosevelt's or Colorado in the Rockies or wherever we can get a tag across the West. Pretty simple system here. The cool thing, so this is a Born and Raised edition XO 4800 from XO Mountain Gear, and it's kind of one of those collaborations. Steve, the owner, has been one of my best friends, and we've been in this pack since the very first prototype in 2013. And a couple years ago, we got the ability to kind of adapt it to our style of elk hunting. So we're going to kind of go through just the base, what I carry every day, every time I leave the truck. So here we go. Let's dive in. Okay, top lid. This is kind of one of those possibles, kind of anything you need quick access to. So knife, and then the Work Sharp pocket knife sharpener. Love this thing. If you get too burred up, you got a diamond stone to file on, and then you've got a ceramic to touch that up, fine it up, and you can take care of an elk with just an easy touch-up process. Right, so first thing out of my lid, knife and sharpener. Easy to get to. Next up, probably number one priority, some wet ones. Definitely a wet ones guy versus teepee. They're just good cleanup. Moisturizing. I always actually do carry a pack of gum. I have heartburn a lot, so it's nice to throw in a piece of gum, freshen the breath, you know. I've got two-way radio, depending on what we're doing, and if we're in, you know, multiple guys, kind of groups split up, good communication. Next up, run an inReach. So this is the old DeLorme, ran it for 6 years now. It's been good. I'm excited. There's some new things coming out I'm going to test out this fall on the whole satellite ability of communication. That syncs to my phone. I can send messages home and stay in contact and make sure the family's doing good. And it's a very good safety tool. They've got a SOS button. Someone gets hurt, we need some help, we can get that message out. About 25 feet of P-cord, just kind of one of those possibles, whatever you need it for, carry it in there. Got a spare cow call, got the two-tone here that we make. This is one of the first prototypes, but always carry that in there just for the ability of losing one. It's pretty common that one of us is going to lose something. And then I carry a little sunglass bag, so I'm always take my sunglasses in, but it's nice to just have that right there in the top lid if I need to throw those on or away, and just a spare Ziploc bag. So kind of keep things dry if I need to. In the next part of the lid, when I open this up, This is actually my backup headlamp. I always carry two. I'm a big Petzl fan. The cool thing with this Petzl is you can when you open this up, this is a rechargeable battery pack. So instead of carrying AAAs all the time and going through a bunch, I'll carry this and a charger, and then I'll also carry 3 AAAs just on a backup side of it. But this has been a really bomb-proof light. I think it's the Tactica Core is what that one is. But I always carry 2 headlamps. I'll show you where my secondary one is. And then last but not least, emergency fire starter. So this is Vaseline and cotton balls. And then on the top there, we've got some matches. So just in case, on the survival side, we've got some fire starter. And that concludes what the top lid is like. So the next one of those most important tools that I always carry with me, no matter leaving the truck, is my water filter system. So this is a Sawyer squeeze filter. We've been running these for about 10 years now. I carry 2 2-liter dirty bags. They're platypus bags. So when you get to a water source, you fill this thing up. When that's full of water, you just screw on the Sawyer system. I've got a Camelback quick disconnect to my bladder and hose that Sawyer also makes them. There's some other manufacturers, but I really like this quick disconnect tool. And the biggest part of it there, you don't have to take your bladder out of your pack to fill it. So a lot of times if we stop for a break, I'll hang this from a tree up there somewhere, and it'll gravity feed right into the bladder in the main pouch. With the XO48, right here is where your bladder goes in. It hangs, and then it's also got a sill waterproof sack that it's in. We've definitely seen in the past where you didn't get a good connection and you leak your water out, all your stuff's wet. This is definitely a nice preventative deal. So I carry a 3-liter, so in total I've got 9 liters of water capability, which would get me through 2 solid days. If I needed to squeak out 3, I could probably make it 3 days if we're in a spot where there's not a lot of water. Luckily for the elk, especially in the west, there's a lot of creeks, a lot of water opportunities to get rehydrated from. And then in this pouch is where I carry our meat bags. So it's kind of down out of the way. These are our new meat bags. This is a full set to do a whole entire elk. You got 4 quarter bags, zip up bags, and it comes packaged in this nice airtight waterproof pouch. Keeps everything nice and dry and anything like that. You don't get wet bags, so you don't have wet meat when you're loading bags in. And then right here is the bone out bag. So this is where all your loose meat's gonna go. Backstrap, tenderloins, hamburger meat, neck meat, any chunks, any other auxiliary, rib roll, anything like that, that'll fill that up. And then on the quarter bags, if you guys seen some of our videos before, this is a pretty cool system that we designed. Kind of our biggest thing is like meat's the most important and how do we take care of it the best we can, and this is what we came up with. Works really well for a solo guy or just 2-man team. You lay this bag out, you take that back quarter off, come in, set it in here, lay it down, bring this over the top and zip that sucker up. So no more straggling, trying to load that meat up. And then it's got a 550 cord, reflective high vis there, and you can go to a tree limb and do a half hitch over the top, get that meat hanging up and cooling off. So that's the meat bags that we make. On this right side here, we've got 2 zippered pouches. On the top usually is where I run my day bag for food. So I put a link in the description to a spreadsheet that you guys can custom enter all of your food weights, all your pack stuff, just to get a kind of a weight chart. It's something I've been doing for about almost 10 years now. Kind of a good list to refine on and double check what you got. And then if there's an item that's been in your pack for 3 or 4 years and you haven't used it, probably a good chance to take that thing out. So definitely about minimalist but function and comfort when I can. So I always have my food packaged in a day pouch, and we'll go through that whole system here, but it's really easy. Just be like, okay, we're going in for 4 days, or we're just got a day trip, reach in there, it's already done. You're not at the trailhead pulling out of boxes and doing all that and wondering what you got. You can kind of pre-calculate it. But main thing, I got protein, I got carbs, got some fats, got some caffeine, and away we go. Down over here in this little side pouch, and one thing I actually really do like packing is a neck buff or a gaiter. This is a lightweight 150 weight merino wool. It's kind of nice to have on those cold mornings. Also, depending on backpacking, I'll sleep with it on if it's super chilly out. Then we pop over to this long side pouch here in the zipper, and I always carry, even for the most part every day of the season, I carry this lightweight. This is called the Brooks Down Sweater puffy jacket, and really good at breaking the wind. It's good when you've sweated, you get up on top of a ridge, you're going to sit there and glass for a little bit, throw it on. It'll wick that moisture away through that merino and dry you out. So I always carry that one. And then my sissy pad here, just a little butt pad. A lot of times carry it just sitting down, taking a break. If we're going to sit in glass for a while, somewhere I can get that little comfort. It weighs nothing, and it's always a good one just to have inside the pack. And then we'll open it on the main pouch for the day stuff here. I got this year. I've never packed a first aid kit, but I thought more about it and things we do and kind of the severity of an injury that could take. It's just a basic adventure medical kit. This is called the Ultralight 7, also with an extra thing of quick cloth. So just be careful out there. You know, you get excited, you kill a bull and you get a knife flailing around, and heard lots of horror stories of guys stabbing themselves or getting stabbed by their buddy. So just take your time, be patient. Probably not a bad idea to pack this around. In the back here is some of those more, I always carry license and tags inside the pack, so you know, if you have them in your lid, it doesn't fall out and you're at a deal. There's an unpunched Montana elk tag from last year. But and then the other thing that I always carry is a roll of Leuco tape. Leuco tape's great. If you get hot spots on your feet, stop early and often, tape them up. This stuff sticks really well. It's the best tape out there that I've found. And then down here, a little bit lower in that, got extra lighter, fire starter, spare thing of chapstick, definitely an important one for me. Got a Ziploc bag with a note from the family. It's just kind of one of those, always keep that in there at nighttime. If we're backpacking, just pull it out, read it, think about the kids and wife at home. It's pretty awesome. And then this one, this is a secret. This is some butt paste. You know, sometimes you get a little chafage. It's a great thing, throw on at night. You'll be good to go in the morning. So definitely one of those necessity items throughout the years I've learned to carry. And that's in the main pouch. And then on the side pouch here, this is where I carry my headlamp. It's always easy to access. Like I said, another Petzl. Always carry 2 headlamps. Learned the lesson the hard way with that one before. And over on this other hip pouch, this is where I carry, this is called a Jackery. This is a smaller one. This is a 6,000 milliamp. But the cool thing I like about this, the battery pack, it has both the USB and the iPhone deal. So I can charge my phone, I can charge the DeLorme, I can charge my headlamp or any camera stuff that we need. So this is a really handy one, super lightweight, pretty sweet little item. So that pretty much concludes my day hunting stuff. Depending, sometimes too, I'll pack trekking poles on a day hunt if we're feeling good, like we're gonna be packing meat, but that's kind of those auxiliary items. But that's pretty much everything that goes in my pack every day, every time I leave the truck. All right guys, so that's kind of the everyday pack. Next up, we're gonna talk about backpacking setup and what that is for, you know, most of the time now we're doing 4 or 5 day sprints. We used to do load up for 10 days, go in there. We found that you kind of can get overcommitted to an area, and this way we're a little bit more mobile. So how I do when I load up, just all my backpacking stuff goes in one tote. It's a pretty easy deal. I found this tote at Sportsman's a couple years ago, and this thing has been bomb proof. They stack nice, and it's been a great tote. So So like I said, everything that I need that I'm gonna go, I'm a pretty minimalist guy, will go in and go through. So for clothes, I don't take much for spare clothes. I take a pair of socks that I'm gonna wear, a pair of underwear I'm gonna wear, and I take a spare set of socks. I take a beanie, and then for outerwear that I'm gonna wear, I've got First Light Corrugate Foundry pants. Really like these because they've got the leg zip. Ran them last year. They were super comfortable in September, even on hot 80-degree days or those cold 28-degree mornings. Nice pant, nice and durable, and it's got a waterproof butt on the back and knees. So wear those in. Then I wear Wick 150 hoodie. I like this, you know, in sun, if you're up there on top of the ridge glass, and you can throw the hood on, get that sun off your neck so you don't get burnt. The merino though works really well for multi-day trips, not stinking. Take a Klamath hoodie. This usually goes in the pack. This is their grid fleece mid-weight layer, goes on over the top of that Wick 150 for those cold mornings, overnight or anything like that. That's going to go in the pack. And also in the pack, depending, this is like later second half of September and what the forecast is going to be. Usually early part of September I won't wear them, but I've got a set of zip off long johns. And these are the short ones that go just above your boots, so they're really nice and handy. You don't have to peel everything off and your boots off if you want to peel them out in the morning. And then if it's a really poor forecast, we got snow in the mix or some rain coming, I'll throw in the Vapor Stormlight jacket, throw that in the pack, and just for the case. But I would say majority of the time I don't pack any rain gear unless the forecast is looking pretty terrible. So that's it for the clothing side of it. Oh, this is how I load the pack with the roll top. It's actually kind of a cool one. It's our slogan. It only takes one. It's kind of one of those quick reminders in the morning when you're loading your stuff up. It's like, no matter how tough it's been, it can all change in a heartbeat. So what I do is I drop this down in the bottom all the way. And this just kind of lines the whole pack. I usually don't even go through the process of snapping it in, but it's got Velcro on the corners right there. Kind of keeps that all tight and uniform. Sleeping pad. So this is one that kind of those creature comforts. This is one of the heavier pads on the market, but I'd sacrifice the weight versus going ultralight. This is a Sea to Summit Comfort Plus. It's got dual chambers, so I can inflate the bottom a little bit harder and the top a little bit softer. That one's going to go in right there down near the bottom. Shove that thing all the way down. Next up, this is an Enlightened Equipment quilt. I think this is the Enigma or the Revolution. I can't remember the name of it. It's a 20-degree quilt. Super comfortable. It's extra long and a little bit wider, so I don't like that mummy bag feeling. The biggest thing with a quilt, you have to have a really good insulated pad. That's what that Sea to Summit pad works really well for. So this quilt's just right at, I think, like 14 ounces, maybe 16 ounces. That one will go, shove that one all the way in. So depending on what's going to go on and how the hunt's going to be, I have two things that are kind of one of those, I'll throw it in or not throw it in, depending on what we're going to do. This is a Jimmy Tarp's little bivy sack. If it's warm days, no rain in the forecast, we're just going to bomb in for a quick overnight or 2 nights. A lot of times I'll just take this bivy sack, throw my sleeping bag pad in it, and I can stay in pretty comfortable temperatures in this. And this actually adds some warmth to sleeping in. So if it does get cold at night, it's not too bad. And then I also run in cold, late September, I'll throw in my liner. And this is a Sea to Summit. I don't know, I think it adds like 10 degrees. This is the Thermo Light, just a few ounces, but something just kind of that creature comfort if needed. stay a little bit warmer in the quilt, I will throw that in. So push those down in that sack. Then as far as stuff that I'm gonna, a lot of times I'll use this as a pillow too. This is that Klamath hoodie. That's gonna go in that main compartment. And pretty much concludes the sleeping system. Next up is gonna be my tent. So this is the Nemo recurve tent. It's a dual vestibule tub floor design, and it's a single wall. It's not a freestanding tent. You got to stake it out in 4 spots, but it's actually 6 stakes. But really lightweight, nice room, nice and comfortable. This is where I'm going to slide this one down on the side right here. Push this in. And I took off the main pole and I actually used trekking poles for this one, so I'll strap those in as well. So my tent goes in on that side, and we'll show the setup of how that tent goes together. But I just run 2 trekking poles at each side of the door, and dual purpose, so I have those. I'll always have these when I'm backpack hunting. Load those in on the back part here. So that's sleeping system, tent, all that. All my day gear that I just went over is already in there. Clothes wise, this is when you throw in those long johns on those cold trips. And then I'll wear pants and my merino top, and throw in that spare set of socks. So that's that. And then next up, we're going to go into the cooking and food side of it. All right, so for stove, what I ran for a long time, Jetboil Soul, super simple. Got a Sea to Summit spoon for the old mountain house meals, ramen. So that's going to go in the pack. And then how I run my food bags, I found these a few years ago, Mountain Smith bags, pretty sweet. So it's like they're kind of color coded. Got multiple ones, but in here is going to be all of my day food. So like I said before, we're going to go in for say 4 days. I'm going to pull out 4 of these food bags. Like I said, food for me in the backcountry, the biggest thing is variety. I messed up myself quite a few years ago. I had 12 days of the exact same food, and it was by day 5, I'm just like, I don't want to eat this. So find the food that you like to eat, mix it up a little bit, treat yourself to a Snickers bar. You don't want to be Betty in the backcountry and getting all hangry. So we got those 4 food bags. It's nice, it's easy, it's already pre-packaged, ready to go. You're not going to be that dude at the trailhead with the gear bomb and trying to pack bags and all that food. Do it ahead of time. Next up, grab some Mountain House, and I kind of mix this up. I'll do like, usually on a 4-day trip, I'll do 1 breakfast or 2 breakfasts maybe, and then I'll grab some dinners. I do like Pro Packs. They're a little bit smaller portion, and then also I'll throw in some instant mashed potatoes to kind of thicken it up if you overdo the water, and just to add a little bit extra fuller at night. I'll grab it's going to be 3 dinners and a breakfast. That'll cover me for 4 days. So pretty fluid, easy process to get packed up, ready to go. Shove those back in there. And a lot of times, like on a food bag, I'll just grab this one's a little bit bigger than what I normally run, but a lightweight dry bag. Throw all my food in on this dry bag. Separate if we need to hang food. If we're in bear country, we got an easy place to do that. Throw that all in. And then this is where I usually put my foods on top of the pack here. Just shove all that down in there. So you got room on top in the opening. This is where my puffy jacket goes. Kind of the same deal, just let it mold to whatever you can shove it in there. It's nice, it keeps the pack nice and full and tight, doesn't have a bunch of lumpy deals in it. Weight's uniform. Try to keep as much weight up high, that's why I put my sleeping system down low, and I'll put my food up high on your pack. So it kind of rides a little bit better. Throw the stove right on this top deal, shove that in there, ready to rock. And this will snap back on itself right there. From here, usually put my pad right on top and then throw my lid over the top of that. And that's pack all ready to rock and roll for 4 days in the backcountry in the elk woods. Weight wise, like I said, I'll put the spreadsheet in there below of all the calculated out weights and where you come in at. I like to try to keep mine in that 30 to 35 pound range. You know, water's the big variable there. Hopefully we're in an area there's lots of water. I don't have to pack a ton of water because that adds up. Then you just take and run all the compression straps. Get this thing sucked down so it doesn't shift and move. Yeah. So the one thing I want to reiterate here is, you know, this system right here has taken me about 20 years to refine down to, kind of upgrade pieces of gear here and there. Don't think that you have to have all the lightest gear to go do it. Over the course of the years, I've gone in with a old aluminum frame pack with a day pack strapped on that, sleeping bag hanging off. I look like the Clampetts going to California, but you know, the big thing, I just went and did it. And I want you guys to go get the experience, go do something you've never done before, and then take the knowledge that you learned on that trip and you to put it to work and realize the things that you want or need, and then kind of refine that. Don't think that you have to have the lightest gear and the best gear out there to go do this stuff. Yeah, so that's my words of encouragement. Just go get out there, get a tag, and go for an adventure on a backcountry trip. All right, so everything that I have on me that I don't have in my pack, run the Outdoor Vision bino harness right here inside. This is the Zulu 6's Sig. I really like these for bow season, lightweight. These are 10 by 30, but the coolest thing, they're image stabilization. So it's nice in the timber, freehanding, got good image. Cell phone, Onyx, always, I'm like constantly on Onyx the whole day when we're hunting. On the right side here, something I carry a couple of these, the wind checker, make or break a hunt. Over here, run the Sig Sauer Kilo 2400 rangefinder, so it's angle compensation, super lightweight, nice and handy, always right there on the chest. So I'm left-handed, so whatever, you know, been knocked up in range. Most of the time I've never ranged an elk, but always like set up where we're calling, range things, get an idea. Off of that, we have our Born and Raised Callco soundbite right there, the acrylic cow call. And then in the front is where run diaphragm calls. So I usually just take them out, blow them, rip a bugle through the tube, and away we go. Also in here, chapstick, more chapstick, and little lens cloth. And then in bear country, trusty old Sig Sauer P320, and this is in a 45. So working on a special project for you guys. Might be seeing a 10 mil sooner than later. And then we also have a compact 9 mil Born and Raised gun that's coming out. So check that out. But just an easy harness, It was a little unnerving last year in grizzly country, and it was nice to have that peace of mind. Also, a lot of times we'll throw bear spray on the pack. So that's that setup. In the truck, always have spot and scope and a phone scope. Used this a bunch in Wyoming last year, just kind of looking over country, seeing bulls from a long distance. It's fun to get photos, videos of them, show them to your buddies, but always pack that. This is the Oscar spotter from Sig Sauer. So that concludes everything that goes on my body, optics and everything, spot and scope leaving the truck, but all my gear. Last but not least, talk boots. I always carry 2 pairs of boots in my truck. So whether you're alternating, you know, if you go in for 3 or 4 days, throw a fresh pair on. If they get, you know, moisture down in your socks from rain on your pants, getting wicked down in your sock, go over your boot in a creek crossing, you always got a spare set. So I run, these are the Makra combis from Hogg, and I've got the Makra Treks, both great boots. Also ran the Alverstone. This boot's kind of a cross between the Makra combis and the Alverstone, but run that. And then one cool piece of gear that I found last year. I won't pack these in the woods, but it's a really cool, it's a USB powered boot dryer. Found it on Amazon. It's like 20 bucks, and definitely nice to have for back here in the truck. We have the ability, and we're just doing a base camp or a mobile camp. This is the mobile attack system. Pretty excited. Last year ran it and it was pretty flawless. I've got all my gear stored in drawers, easy to access, all right here in the truck. On this side here is more of the camping heater. If we get bored in camp, it's kind of a trail game of cornhole, hammock, just kind of all those types of things. Haven't used them yet. Found these on Amazon, another like $20 fine. Some night lights. All that's right here in this drawer. Like I said, my food, all that kind of stuff's all right here, easy to access. One of the more important things, you know, like coffee, all that for the mornings, ready to go. Easy. In the truck, I just have one of those like just easy folding aluminum tables. Stoked on this find, a little electric chainsaw. Last year saw this, thought I needed it, and I've used the heck out of it. Just in the case of those, you're hunting areas that have a bunch of beetle kill blowdown roads, windstorm comes in, don't want to get stuck. So got the old electric chainsaw, Boy Scout axe, and shovel. Just never know, get a snowstorm, get stuck, anything like that. It's always in there. On the other side of it, I got a little compressor. Back here in the back of the truck, I've got the AT Overland Atlas topper, but inside here I've got a Group 27 battery, inverter, and then it's powered by solar on top. So if I need to power up with that thing, I can do that. Also, in over here, come here and check this out. Side hatch. Got a nice little celebratory 10 barrel. We need lots of snacks. I'm a salami and cheese and crackers kind of guy, or I'll steal my kids' Uncrustables. Anyways, it's nice to have. This is all 12 volt power, so runs off the battery, gets recharged on the solar side of it. So no ice, don't have to worry about that. Having cool, cold drinks. Got my 5 gallons of water, token. What I recommend for coolers, if you're going on an elk hunt, the rule of thumb is basically a 105 quart cooler will carry half of a boned out elk. So you need two 105s, or combination of whatever you have to work. But that's the big thing. Once you get that meat back to the truck, boned out in there, 105 will do half of an elk. So if you're going in the woods, the big thing, fire danger, it's been more prevalent across the West. This is the worst fire season that I've seen yet, for closures and big fires happening. Always carry fire tools. So you need a shovel, axe, water, or a fire extinguisher. That's to be legal. And also, if you're out there and fire gets going, you have the tools to go attack it, hopefully not have another catastrophic big wildfire going on. As far as base camp, it all is right here. We're mobile. If we got to move, we can move fast. All the sleeping stuff is up here in the AT. So got a nice light here in the back. Need some mood lighting. We've got some amber lighting inside. This is the smart solar controller for the battery, trickle charger. So all that solar, so I don't have to worry about plugging in or getting anything charged up. I'll take this thing up and show you guys what it's all about. So 4 easy latches up top. Jump in here. All right, so up top in the AT, it's pretty nice. So I'm a tall guy, 6'4", with my even compartment that I built back here with the boxes and all that. I can stand in them just right there on my, touching my head on the ceiling. So there's lots of room. This one's super comfortable though. You can sleep 2 guys up here if you need. Last year we did a bunch where guy would sleep down below, I'd sleep up top, and be ready to rock and roll. Like I said, in the morning, it's literally you pull these 2 handles down, top comes down, you throw 4 latches, and you're good to go. So you're on the road and up and trucking. Pretty nice to be able to, if we're gonna night bugle, stay out late, end up where we end up, kick this thing up, sleep for a few hours, get up in the morning, go chase some bulls. All right, last but not least, we went through a lot of stuff to get here. One of the finer parts of what I love archery elk hunting is shooting a bow. The Hoyt Axius, shot this last year, got it as a backup bow this year, working on RX5, getting that all set up. We just recently filmed a bow build with Wayne at the Bow Rack. We'll put the link right here. You guys can check that out, kind of how the pros set up a bow. But yeah, it's been a good platform. So on the bow, run the Born and Raised sight from Spot Hogg. This is the Tommy Hogg. I run 5-pin with a slider setup. On the rest, run a Hamskea Trinity, and then arrows, I run Easton FMJs. These are 300 spine with 125 grain Cayuga, 2-blade single bevel broadhead with bleeders. It's a pretty deadly, it's right in that 550, 560 range on grains, and yeah, good shooting bow. Can't wait to shoot a bull again this year. So we've got some pretty cool plans for the fall. You guys got to stay tuned. We got Land of the Free 4 dropping in early October this year. We're going to treat you guys a little bit earlier. Instead of November, we're going to hit that in October and share you. Steve and I drew some really good tags here in the east side of the state, and Trent's got a pretty special tag later in October. Trevor's got a Roosevelt tag. We've got some other Roosevelt tags with Troy and Matt, and we get to hunt our home state of Oregon this year a bunch, so we're pretty excited about that. So the one thing I would encourage you guys to try to shoot your bow every day. I mean, set it in a place, you got to walk by it, you got to look at it, you got to see it, it's front of mind. Shoot, if it's only 5 arrows, it's 5 arrows. If it's only 3 yards, it's 3 yards. Work on form, that repetition. So when you get a chance, when you draw back on a bull, there's no like, oh, where's my anchor? Just everything feels comfortable. Go through, get those reps in, and enjoy it, make fun out, have some fun with it. And yeah, it's a privilege to shoot your bow every day. So new video on Monday, Land of the Free 3.0 highlight reel. You guys are gonna want to watch this. We go to Arizona. Steve shoots a giant. Spoiler alert, it's one of the best elk hunting trips we've ever had in our lives. But that drops on Monday. And also, I want you guys to hit the comment section below. Tell me that one piece of gear that you will not leave home without. I know for me, wet wipes. Wet wipes are a pretty good clutch item to have in your pack. Yeah, and then also just do us a favor, if you like this content, hit that thumbs up button, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell when we drop those videos for you. And also follow us on social, on Instagram, TikTok. We're there, we're sharing content every day. So until the next one, we will see you guys later. We're out.
No worries over nickels and dimes or a 9-to-5 grind. I gotta get loose sometimes. In trouble